Alright, I'm not going to waste your time. Let's get into this one. You read the title of the video. Now, I'm still a teenager. I'm still 18. But, I've lived the majority of my teen years in the sense that I'm already preparing for, being an actual adult and, setting myself up for my future. And kind of gone away from that living in the moment mindset, and I don't know how to describe it, like that school and that kind of stuff mindset. I'm kind of more into it's hard to describe, like as a teenager, you kind of just, it's more about yourself and your development in a sense of like you're just growing and figuring out who you are. But now, when you become an adult, I don't believe that, because in most countries, you turn 18, you become an adult. I don't believe in, as soon as you turn 18, all of a sudden you're just an adult. I feel like it's different between person to person in the sense that when you're actually ready. There'll be some people out there who are ready for that stuff a lot earlier, and some who have to wait a bit longer until they're actually ready. And I feel like that since doing YouTube and starting to take this shit more seriously, I'm ready for, adulthood and being, not relying on other people as much. Now, I'm definitely far from it, but, on that pathway, you know what I mean? But, as the title says, there's definitely things, we all fuck up when we're kids, right? And there's always things you wish you go back and did. But as a whole, I'm going to kind of give you a little bit of a rundown of what I would do differently if I could go back and, be 13 all the way through to now again. Because had I have known, like, I'm not talking about this time traveling, because I would have just bought Bitcoin and sold it at 120,000 or wherever it got to and made bank and been fine, set myself up accidentally. But like, if I could, just change my actions and that kind of thing. And the first one is, fucking video games would be the first thing. I wouldn't necessarily cut it out completely, but fuck me, especially during COVID lockdown, I was playing to 8-10 hours a day. Like there was, I was an Xbox gamer, right, console, and I had this little thing that would tell me each hour I've been on, encouraging me to get off or have a break. But being the gamer I was, I just see it as more like an achievement. And I just remember seeing, you get 8 hours, take a break, 9, 10, 11, some days it even get up to 14 hours with the Xbox on playing video games, And it was like, this was mostly in COVID, but a little bit before and after as well. Right up until pretty much my last year of school, so last year. But, I was spending hours and hours and hours. And while I did enjoy the video games I played, and fuck, I had some laughs with the boys, it was just, had I have, been making these YouTube videos, it takes 15 minutes a day. Had I been making these in COVID, whilst I had fuck all schoolwork and no other responsibilities, because, in the city I live in, Melbourne, was the most locked down city in the world, I won't go into all that. I might tell a story one day. But, we couldn't even go, 5 kilometers. There was one point in time where we couldn't go more than 5 Ks from our house. And that meant, no sport. You couldn't really see friends. It was only one, you can only see one person, one-on-one friend, And so I was just stuck inside. Now, as an introvert, that wasn't a big issue, but it was, all I did was play video games. You know, I do all my schoolwork in a couple of hours in the morning, and then just hop on my Xbox and go grind. And it was like, had I have just, you know, done my schoolwork, recorded a YouTube video or two, and then gone and played video games, and done that every day during COVID, how much oh my God, I'd be fucking years ahead. Now, with that, because I have been thinking about it. With that, obviously, the word would have gotten out amongst my school, and it would have been kind of embarrassing. I can't lie, to, you know, be the guy with a YouTube channel, because it's while my channel's small like this, it's still a bit of it's still cringe, you know. And until I start making actual money and it's my full-time job, people don't take it seriously. And when COVID came back in my last couple of years of school, I was a little bit too caught up with how everyone else, you know, how I was perceived to everyone else and my image. And that definitely wouldn't have looked good. But, you know, at the end of the day, I got to focus on me. So that'd be the first thing, whether it's YouTube or it's just my personal growth as a whole, you know, breaking these bad habits earlier so they're easy to break would have been so much more beneficial than just sitting on my ass and, you know, being a bit of a loser. But it's, you know, again, I can't go back. I can't change my mind. I can't time travel yet. But I just sit there and think I still sit here every now and then and just go, God, I was a fucking idiot. I had all this time in the world, and I just threw it away when I could have been doing just little bits every day. I had all this time to work on myself and, you know, all this good stuff and set myself up. But again, I was very immature. I was, you know, all this stuff. I was not ready. Probably wasn't ready. But I should have done it anyway, because I would have been so much better off for it. Now, the next thing I definitely would have done differently is I would have changed my mindset about dating and relationships, in the sense that, you know, I've told the story before, and, you know, I've had a couple of girlfriends in the past, and it was just, I mean, yeah, but it was not because I wanted that actual, you know, building a relationship with someone else and becoming that, you know, super close bond with someone that, you know, I get along with and is, you know, the actual purpose of a relationship. It was kind of just like, for the sake of getting a girlfriend, just, you know, go and get a girlfriend for the sake of it. And I got a bit too caught up, especially in my younger years, early high school, a bit too caught up on getting girls and, you know, trying to impress them or whatever. And now, obviously, you can't just make yourself look like shit, like my hair does now. Fucking, I don't care. Literally. But, you know, not having that, it's all about the mindset. You know, you've got to, you know, you gotta be happy with how you look and look good when you leave the house, but you shouldn't be out trying to actively impress women or go after women every time you go out. Now, like, if you're going to school, you should be just going there to go to school and seeing your friends. Like, dating in school is just overrated as fuck. But I'll record another video on that too. So, they're probably the main big ones. Spending my time during COVID differently, and, you know, getting that forward thinking mindset a lot earlier in my life, and then, you know, changing my mindset on how I approach dating and relationships. You know, I could go on for ages about all kinds of things, you know, but it's those two are the big ones that came to mind straight away. So if you are, you know, on early teens, you know, 13, 14, even 15, take this stuff, you know, this should be really valuable if you are. Now, if you are, you know, still unsure what you want to do, that's fine, but, you know, you can still work on yourself and start building these good habits, because the earlier you start, the earlier you start reaping the rewards. And I wish I did it sooner, because it's like, I know I'm still young in the scheme of life, but, you know, I sit there and go, oh, I could have been reaping the rewards that I now have to wait for in 3 years. Now, if I started 3 years earlier, it's like, fuck. But anyways, you know, you hear the saying, the best time to plant a tree was 30 years ago. The second best time is now. So again, if you haven't started, start. Please start. Because you've got to put in that countdown to success only starts when you start working towards it. You can't just, you know, wait for success. But anyways, I'm not going to get too caught up with that, but if you're still here at the end of the video, I love you, and remember, life is what you make it.